Hare Krishna, we're just starting in a moment.
ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै
श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा
कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु
श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा
रघुनाथान्वितं
तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा
ललिता
श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद
हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम
राम राम हरे हरे।
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरों दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं
श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
जय
जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
All glories to Lord Chaitanya, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Kripa gunairyaha kugrahandhakupat uddhritya
bhangya Raghunath dasam Nyasya swarupe vidadentarangam Shri Krishna Chaitanya mamam prapadye. With the robes of his causeless mercy, Śrī Krishna Chaitanya Mahāprabhu employed a trick to deliver Raghunath Goswami from the blind well of contemptible family life. He made Raghunath Goswami one of his personal associates, placing him under the charge of Svarūpa Dāmodara Gosvāmī. I offer my obeisances unto him. So here's this beautiful verse by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, which eulogizes and highlights the amazing mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, who somehow or other delivered Raghunath Das Goswami by employing a trick from the contemptible family life. And he made Raghunath Das Goswami as one of his personal associates, keeping him under the shelter and guidance of Svarūpa Dāmodara Gosvāmī. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Sri Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hey Mata Gaura Chandra Bhakta Gana Sange Nila Chale Nana Lila Kare Nana Range.
Thus Lord Gaur Chandra performed various pastimes with his associates at Jagannātha Purī. Thus Lord Gaur Chandra performed various pastimes with his associates at Jagannātha Purī in varieties of transcendental pleasure.
Yadyapi antare Krishna viyoga badhaye bahire na prakashaye bhakta dukkha bhaye. Although Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu felt pangs of separation from Krishna, he did not manifest his feelings externally, for he feared the unhappiness of his devotees. So it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling intense separation from the Lord, from Krishna, but he was not exhibiting those feelings externally because that would unsettle his dear devotees. Utkata viraha dukkhaya vibahiraya tave vaikalya prabhur varananayaya.
The transformations undergone by the Lord when he manifested severe unhappiness due to separation from Krishna cannot be described. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is staying in that place of Jagannātha Purī, which is the Vipralambha Kshetra also, where Krishna is in separation from Srimati Radharani, and that mood is prevalent there. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually Radharani Krishna in the mood of Radharani, and he is also experiencing that separation. So the dham was also increasing his intense separation, but somehow or the other he was covering it up because otherwise it would be too painful for his devotees.
Rāmānanda Krishna Katha Svarūpe Ragana Viraha Vidannaya Prabhu Rakaye Prana. When the Lord acutely felt pangs of separation from Krishna, only Śrī Rāmānanda Rāya's talks about Krishna and the sweet songs of Svarūpa Dāmodara kept him alive. Dīne Prabhu Nana Sange Hayanyamana Ratri Kale Bade Prabhu Viraha Vedana.
Because the Lord associated with various devotees during the day, his mind was somewhat diverted. But at night, the pangs of separation from Krishna increased very rapidly. So throughout the day, somehow or other, he was, busy, occupied, and with the devotees. So he was still diverted. But at nights, it was difficult for him.
Krishna Rasa Shloka Gite Karena Santwana. Two people, Rāmānanda Rāya and Svarūpa Dāmodara Gosvāmī, stayed with the Lord to pacify him by reciting various verses about Krishna's pastimes and by singing appropriate songs for his satisfaction. Subala yaiche purve Krishna sukhe sahaya Gaura sukha dana hetu taiche Rama Rāya.
Previously, when Lord Krishna was personally present, Subala, one of his cowherd boyfriends, gave him happiness when he felt separation from Radharani. Similarly, Rāmānanda Rāya helped give happiness to Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So actually two names are being mentioned here, Rāmānanda Rāya and Svarūpa Dāmodara. So we understand that their position is Lalita Sakhi and Vishakha Sakhi, and with them Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would share his feelings of separation.
Purveyanche Radhara Lalita Sahai Pradhana Taiche Svarūpa Gosai Rakhe Mahaprabhu Prana. Previously, when Srimati Radharani felt the pangs of separation from Krishna, her constant companion Lalita kept her alive by helping her in many ways. Similarly, when Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu felt Radharani's emotions, Svarūpa Dāmodara Gosvāmī helped him maintain his life. Idui jana saubhagya kahanayaya Prabhura antarangali andre loke gaya.
To describe the fortunate position of Rāmānanda Rāya and Svarūpa Dāmodara Gosvāmī is extremely difficult. They were renowned as intimately confidential friends of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu.
They were the more intimate and most intimate confidential associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hey Mata Vihara Gaura Nana Bhakta Gana Raghunatha-līlā Shuna Bhakta Gana.
The Lord thus enjoyed his life with his devotees, who devotees of Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Now hear how Raghunath Das Goswami met the Lord. So, in very recent past, we celebrated Panihati festival, and it was all the glorification of Raghunath Das Goswami. And now we are going to hear how Raghunath Das finally meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Purve Shanti Pure Raghunatha Beaila Mahaprabhu Kripa Kari Tanre Śrīhaṭṭa. When Raghunath Das, during his family life, went to meet Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu at Shantipur, the Lord gave him worthy instructions by his causeless mercy. Prabhu Shikhate te ho nija ghare aaya Markat vairagya chhadi aila vishay praya.
Instead of becoming a so-called renunciate, Raghunath Das, following the instructions of the Lord, returned home and played exactly like a pounds and shillings man. So he became, or he acted, or he took a role of a Vishayi Praya, a person who was a properly materialistic person. So actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed him that you go back and do your duties, do your worldly duties, and when the time is right, you will unite with me.
Vitare vairagya bahi kare sarva karma Dekhiya tamata pita anandita mana. Raghunath Das was inwardly completely renounced, even in family life, but he did not express his renunciation externally. Indeed, he acted just like an ordinary businessman. Seeing this, his father and mother were satisfied. So father and mother in this case were very satisfied. The son is at home, he's engaging in business, taking care of the family, taking care of the business. So they were all very satisfied. But internally, Raghunath Das was following the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was completely renounced internally. He was like a lotus leaf surrounded by water, but untouched by water. Mathura haite Prabhu aina vartayabe Prabhu pasha chali bare udyoga karila.
When he received a message that Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu had returned from Mathura city, Raghunath Das endeavored to go to the lotus feet of the Lord.
Henakare mulukera ekamrichadikari saptagrama mulukera sehaichadari. At that time, there was a Muslim official collecting the taxes of Saptagram. So we understand that this whole area of Bengal and other places was actually governed under the Muslim king, and they had a Muslim official who was collecting taxes in Saptagram.
Hiranyadas
Makrari kariya Tara dikara gela mare se dekhiya.
When Hiranyadas, so now who's Hiranyadas? So Hiranyadas is actually the uncle of Raghunath Das Goswami. So when Hiranyadas, Raghunath Das's uncle, made an agreement with the government to collect taxes, the Muslim Chaudhary or tax collector, having lost his position, became extremely envious of him.
So earlier there was a Muslim tax collector, but later Hiranyadas entered into an agreement with the government that instead of that Muslim tax collector, Hiranyadas will become the tax collector. So of course this Muslim collector became very envious of him. Lakshadeya Raja Sade Bisha Laksha Seturukichiyunapana Pratipaksha. Hiranyadas was collecting 2 million coins and therefore should have delivered 1.5 million to the government. Instead, he was giving only 1.2 million, thus making an extra profit of 300,000 or 3 lakh coins. Seeing this, the Muslim Chaudhary, who was a Turk, became his rival. So Hiranyadas, he was not following his agreement with the government. He was stealing from the government, making some, corruption and huge amount. Raja ghare kaifiyat diya ujranila
Hiranyadas palaila Raghunather bandila. Oh my God. After sending a confidential account to the government treasury, the Chaudhary brought the minister in charge. The Chaudhary came wanting to arrest Hiranyadas. And what happened to Hiranyadas? He had already got this news. So Hiranyadas palaila, bhagevo, left his home. Thereafter, therefore, the Chaudhary arrested Raghunath Das, Raghunather bandila, because his uncle was missing. So they captured Raghunath Das, arrested Raghunath Das.
Pratidin Raghunathe karaye bhaksana Bapa Jeshtharena
Nahe pai bayatana. Every
day the Muslim would chastise Raghunath Das and tell him, bring your father and his elder brother, otherwise you will be punished. Marite anaye yadi dekhe Raghunathe Mana firi aya tabe na pare marite.
The Chaudhary wanted to beat him, but as soon as he saw Raghunath's face, his mind changed and he could not beat him. Visheshakarasta buddhi
antakara dara Mukhe tarje garje marite sabhaya antara. Indeed, the Chaudhary was afraid of Raghunath Das because Raghunath Das belonged to the Kayast community. Although the Chaudhary would chastise him with oral vibrations, he was afraid to beat him. So that time the Kayast community was very influential and they would serve in many governmental posts and positions. And Raghunath Das belonged to that community, so he was little, and they were very wealthy also.
How is it mentioned that they would chastise him with oral vibrations?
Mukhe tarje garje. Tabe Raghunatha kichu chintina upaya. Vinati kariya kahe sei mlecha paya. While this was going on, Raghunath Das thought of a tricky method of escape. Thus he humbly submitted his plea at the feet of the Muslim Chaudhary. Amar vita chishta haya to madui bhai. Bhai bhai to marhala kar sarvadai.
My dear sir, my father and his elder brother are your brothers. All brothers always fight about something. So he is establishing a relationship with them and telling that we are all, same family. You are like my uncle. And the brothers, they fight.
Kabu kal kabu priti ham nishchay nahi. Kali punatina bhai haiba ekatani. Sometimes brothers fight among themselves and sometimes they have very friendly dealings. There is no certainty when such changes will take place. Thus, I am sure that although today you are fighting, tomorrow you three brothers will be sitting together in peace. Ami aiche pita taiche tomar balaka. Ami tomar palya tumi amar palaka.
Just as I am my father's son, so I am also yours. I am your dependent and you are my maintainer. Ami tomar palya, tumi amar palak. I depend on you and you have to protect me, you have to take care of me.
Palakana palya re tarik na yuyaya. Tumi sarva shastra jana jinda pira praya. So from this we can understand that how Raghunath Das Goswami excelled not only in his devotion, not only in his renunciation, but also in his public dealing. So we can just here get this from this statement. For a maintainer to punish the person he maintains is not good. The one who is taking care, who is giving shelter, he should not punish the one who has taken shelter under him. It is not good. You are expert in all scriptures. Tumi sarva shastra jan. You know all the scriptures. Indeed, you are like a living saint. Jinda Pir Praya. You are like a living Muslim saint. Idashuni se Mṛta-pravāha-bhāṣya haina. Dari vahi ashru pade kandite kagila.
When the Muslim heard Raghunath Das's appealing voice, his heart softened. He began to cry and tears glided down his beard.
Mlecha bale aji haite tu vimora putra. Adi chadai mu toma kari eka sutra.
The Muslim Chaudhary told Raghunath Das, "You are my son from this day on. Today, by some means, I shall have you released. Don't worry. You are dependent on
You are
me.
my
You're
son.
like my son. I take care of you now."
Ujire kahiya Raghunathe chadaila. Priti kari Raghunathe kahite lagila. After informing the minister, the Chaudhary released Raghunath Das and then began to speak him with great affection. Tomar ishta nirabuddhi ashta laksha khaya. Ami bagi amare kichu dibare yuyaya. Your father's elder brother is less intelligent. Tumhara jesht nirbuddhi. He enjoys 8 lakh coins. But since I am also a shareholder, you should have given some portion of it to me. Yahadumi toma jeshtha milahaya mare. Ye mate bhagaya karuna bharadelu tanre.
Now you go arrange a meeting between me and your uncle. Let him do whatever he thinks best. I shall completely depend on his decision. So this person, he is not telling that your uncle made a mistake by stealing that money. He's telling the mistake is that he did not give my cut of that stealing.
Raghunatha Sita be Jeshtare milaila. Mlecha sahit vasha kaila savashanta haila. Raghunath Das arranged a meeting between his uncle and the Chaudhary. The matter was settled and everything was peaceful. Mata Raghunathe vatsarika gela. Dvitiya vatsare palaite mana kaila.
In this way, Raghunath Das passed 1 year exactly like a first-class business manager. But the next year, he again decided to leave home. So he has got the news that Mahaprabhu has reached Mathura. So now, returned from Mathura. So now he has made this decision to leave home and meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Ratre uthe ke laksha lila palana. Dura haite pita tanre anila dhariya. He got up alone one night and left. But his father caught him in a distant place and brought him back. Hey mate bare bare paladhari ane. Tabe tanra mata kahe tanra pita sane.
This became almost a daily affair. Raghunath would run away from home and his father would again bring him back. Then Raghunath Das's mother spoke to his father as follows.
Putra bhatul hailai hai rakha bandiya. Tanra pita kahe tare nirvinana. Our son has become mad. Putra batul haila. She said, just keep him by binding him with ropes. So this is what the mother is telling the father, you bind my son with ropes and keep him at home. His father, being very unhappy, replied to her as follows. Indra sama aishwarya stri apsara sama. Se saba bandite nari lekayan ramana.
Raghunath Das, our son, has opulence like Indra Sama Aishwarya, and his wife is as beautiful as an angel. Yet all this could not tie down his mind. So he is not captured. These are the things which tie us to this material world. But he's telling that the beautiful wife and so much of opulence, if that is unable to tie our son, then how do you think that the ropes can tie him?
Darira bandhane tanre rakhi baki mate. Janmadata pita nare prarabdha khandaite. How then would we keep this boy home by binding him with ropes? It is not possible even for one's father to nullify the reactions of one's past activities. Chaitanya Chandrera Kripa Anache Hare Chaitanya Chandrera Batu Kerakite Pare.
Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu has fully bestowed his mercy on him. Who can keep home such a madman of Chaitanya Chandra? So our son has become the recipient of the special mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And in his attraction, he is running after again and again. So how can we bind somebody like him?
Tabe Raghunatha Kichu Vichari Lamane Nityananda Gosaira Pachale Avrati. Then Raghunath Das considered something in his mind. And the next day, he went to Nityananda Gosai. Pani hati grame paina prabhura darshana Kirtaniya sevak sange arabahu jana.
So those of us who had come with us last time when we went to Mayapur, so they may remember that on the way to Mayapur, we stopped here in this village of Panihati. So actually in this village of Panihati, Raghunath Das came to see Nityananda Prabhu, who was accompanied by many kirtan performers, servants and others.
Ganga tire vriksha mule pindara upare Vasiya naina koti suryodaya kare. Sitting on a rock under a tree on the bank of the Ganges, Lord Nityananda seemed as effulgent as hundreds of thousands of rising suns. So we actually went to the exact place where Nityananda Prabhu was there.
And we exactly performed the drama of this particular pastime.
Tare upabahu bhakta nache vishishta देखी प्रभु प्रभाव रघुनाथ विस्मित.
Many devotees sat on the ground surrounding him. Seeing the influence of Nityanand Prabhu, Raghunath Das was astonished.
दंडवत न से पड़ी कत दूरे सेवक हे रघुनाथ दंडवत करे. Raghunath Das offered his obeisances by falling prostrate at a distant place. And the servant of Nityanand Prabhu pointed out, there is Raghunath Das offering you obeisances. Mi Prabhu kahe chora dili darshana aya aji tora karimu dandana.
So Nityanand Prabhu was speaking in some quotes. What he said? You are a thief. Now you have come to see me. Come here, today I shall punish you. So this was the first meeting of Raghunath Das with Nityanand Prabhu. And the moment Nityanand got to know that Raghunath has come, this is how he addresses him. He's ready to punish him. Prabhu bolate ho nikate na
Kare gamana akashiya tanra mate Prabhu daricharan. The Lord called him, but Raghunath Das did not go near the Lord. Then the Lord forcibly caught him and placed his lotus feet upon Raghunath Das's head. Kautuki Nityananda Sahaje Daya Maya Raghunath kahe kichu ano sadaya.
Lord Nityanand was by nature very merciful and funny. Being merciful, he spoke to Raghunath Das as follows.
Nikate na aisa chora bhaga dure dure aji laga pana chidandi murto mare.
You are just like a thief, or instead of coming near, you stay away at a distant place. Now that I have captured you, I shall punish you.
Dadi chira bhakshana kara mora gane shuni anandita haila Raghunath mane. Make a festival and feed all my associates with yogurt and chipped rice. Hearing this, Raghunath Das was greatly pleased. So these are the instructions given by Nityanand Prabhu to Raghunath Das, that you arrange a big festival, and what you should serve my associates, yogurt and chipped rice. Sikshane jaloka partayila grame bhakshya dravya loka saba grama haiteyane.
So Raghunath Das, who was labeled as thief by Nityanand Prabhu. Why so? Because he was staying away from Nityanand Prabhu. He was not coming. So just like a thief who hides, Raghunath Das has been hiding from from coming in front of Nityanand Prabhu, from meeting Nityanand Prabhu. He wanted to go to Chaitanya Mahāprabhu, but he was avoiding Nityanand Prabhu. And that is why Nityanand calls him a thief. And he gave him a punishment. And we have understood the opulence of Raghunath Das. His own father is telling that the opulence is like as majestic as Indra. So much opulence was there. So Raghunath was very happy hearing this punishment, that I get to feed Nityanand Prabhu and all his associates. So he immediately sent his own men to the village to purchase all kinds of eatables and bring them back.
Chiradadi dugdha sandeshare chini kara Sabhadravyana nacho dikyadarila. Raghunath Das brought chipped rice, yogurt, milk, sweetmeats, sugar, bananas, and other eatables, and placed them all around. Mahotsavanama shuni brāhmaṇa sajjana asite lagila loka asankhya ganana.
As soon as they heard that a festival was going to be held, all kind of brahmanas and other gentlemen began to arrive. Thus there were innumerable people. So the festival began with Nityananda Prabhu and few of his associates, but the news spread everywhere and everyone who ever heard started coming there to participate in this festival.
Seeing the crowd increasing, Raghunath Das arranged to get more eatables from other villages. He also brought 200 or 400 large round earthen pots. So first he got from his village, and then he saw there was more crowd, so he sent his men to other nearby villages and get more eatables, and then he arranged hundreds of pots. बड़ा बड़ा मृत्कुंडी का नाई वंश साते एक विप्र प्रभु लागी चिड़ा भी जताते.
He also obtained 5 or 7 especially large earthen pots. And in these pots, a brahmana began soaking chipped rice for the satisfaction of Lord Nityananda. So the chipped rice needs to be soaked before preparing. So huge containers were brought, and some brahmanas were busy just soaking that chipped rice. Ek thani tapta
दुग्धे चिड़ा भी जाना अर्धे का छानीला दादी चीनी काला दिया. In one place, chipped rice was soaked in hot milk in each of the large pots. Then half the rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas.
Dadhi chini cola.
अर्धे का नामृता दुग्धे ते छानीला चापा काला चीनी घृत कर्पूताते दीला.
The other half was mixed with condensed milk and a special type of banana known as champa kala. Then sugar, clarified butter, and camphor were added.
Dhuti pari prabhu yadi pindate vasila sata gundi vipra tanra agete dharila. After Nityananda Prabhu had changed his cloth for a new one and sat on a raised platform, the Brahmana brought before him the 7 huge pots. Chabutara upariyata Prabhu nija gane bada bada lokavasi mandali rachani.
On that platform, all the most important associates of Sri Nityananda Prabhu as well as other important men sat down in a circle around the Lord. So Lord was sitting in the center and the important devotees were sitting around him in a circle.
Ramadas Sundananda Das Gadadhara Murari Kamal
Kara Sadashiva Purandara. Among them were Ramdas, Sundarananda, Gadadhar Das, Murari, Kamalakar, Sadashiv, and Purandar.
Dhananjaya Jagadisha Parmeshwara Dasa Mahesha Gauri Daso
Lord Kṛṣṇa
Dasa. Dhananjay, Jagdish, Parmeshwar Das, Mahesh, Gauri Das, and Hoda Krishna Das were also there. Uddharana Datta Adiyata Nijagana Upare Vasila Sabha Ke Kare Gana.
Similarly, Udharan Datta Ṭhākura and many other personal associates of the Lord sat on the raised platform with Nityananda Prabhu. No one could count them also. So many closed, intimate associates of Nityananda Prabhu are there that nobody could count them. What to talk of the others?
Shuni Pandit Bhattacharya Yata Vipraila Manyakari Prabhu Savarupara Saila. Hearing about the festival, all kinds of learned scholars, Pandit, Brahmanas, Bhattacharyas, priests went there. Lord Nityananda Prabhu honored them and made them sit on the raised platform with him. Dui dui mritta kunika savarage dila Eka dukta chira are dadi chira kaila.
Everyone was offered 2 earthen pots. In one was put chipped rice with condensed milk, and in the other chipped rice with yogurt.
Arayat loka sabha chatura talane mandali bande vasila tarana yagane. All the other people sat in groups around the platform. No one could count how many people there were. Ekeka janare dui holana dila. Dadi chira dukta chira duite bijaira.
So there was 2 division. One was chira dahi and one was milk and chira. So curd and chira and milk and chira, and each and every one of them was supplied with 2 earthen pot. One of chipped rice soaked in yogurt and the other chipped rice soaked in condensed milk.
Kona kona vipra stanana pana dui holaya chira bijay ganga tire giya. Of course, so many people, place was limited. Some of the brahmanas, not having gotten a place on the platform, went to the bank of the Ganges. Now this place is, the Ganga is flowing and this place is just on the bank of Ganga. So there's this large platform, and when this platform was full and their devotees and the Brahmanas were still there with the pots, where would they go? So they just went into Ganga, went to the bank of the Ganges with their 2 earthen pots and soaked their chip rice there. Tiristhanena pana arkata jana jalenami dadi chida karaye pakshana.
Others who could get a place even on the bank of Ganges got down into the water and began eating there with 2 kinds of chip rice. Imagine, the whole platform was full, the bank of Ganga was full, and finally they were getting inside the water, standing in water, holding the pots, and they were eating there.
Keha upre keha tale keha Ganga tire Bisha janatina tani pariveshakare. Thus some sat on the platform, some at the base of the platform, and some on the bank of the Ganges, and they were all supplied with 2 pots, each by the 20 men who distributed the food. Hena kale aila tata Raghava Pandita Hasi tela lila dekhi hanavesamita.
At that time, Raghav Pandit arrived there. So Raghav Pandit's residence is in Panihatigram. So he arrived there, and seeing the situation, he began to laugh in great surprise.
Kisakdi nana mata prasada anila Prabhu rage diya bhakta gane bati dila. He brought many kinds of food cooked in ghee and offered to the Lord. This prasadam he first placed before Nityananda, Lord Nityananda, and then distributed among the devotees. Prabhu ka hito ma lagi bhoga lagaina tumi ha utsav kara gare prasad rahina.
Raghav Pandit said to Lord Nityananda, "For you, sir, I have already offered food to the deity, but you are engaged in a festival here, and so the food is lying there untouched." Now, Raghav Pandit is also a very special personality who's famous for cooking and offering Lord varieties of preparations. So he would carry, when he was staying in Panihati and Lord Chaitanya Mahāprabhu was staying in Jagannātha Purī, and every year he would come there with bag full of food, different type of preparations, some perishable, some would perish after a few days, some had the lifespan for 1 month, some items for 1 year. So he would give, the food items would be separately packed and Lord would be served accordingly. So here when Nityananda was visiting, for him also Raghav Pandit had prepared food and he was waiting there.
Prabhu kahe dravya
dile kariye bhojana
Rati to magare prasad karimo bhakshana. Lord Nityananda replied, let me eat all this food here during the day, and I shall eat at your home at night. Gopajati ami bahu gopagana sange ami sukha pai pulin bojarange.
I belong to a community of cowherd boys, and therefore I generally have many cowherd associates with me. So we understand that Nityananda Prabhu was born in the family of a Brahman. Hadai Pandit was his father. But here he is telling that I belong to a community of cowherd boys. I am happy when we eat together in a picnic like this by the sandy bank of the river. So he was remembering his Leela as Ram, and he's recounting
On the banks
on the bank of
Yamuna. Raghave vasana dui kandi devaina Raghava dvivida chida tate vijaila. Lord Nityananda made Raghav Pandit sit down and had 2 pots delivered to him also. There were 2 kinds of chipped rice soaked in them. Sakala lokera chida purnaya behaila Dhyanata be Prabhu Māyāvāda re alila.
When chipped rice had been served to everyone, Lord Nityananda Prabhu in meditation brought Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu.
Mahaprabhu aila deki nitai utila Tandrila saba chida deki de nagila. When Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu arrived, Lord Nityananda Prabhu stood up. Then they saw how the others were enjoying the chipped rice with yogurt and condensed milk. So this recipe also that Nityananda Prabhu gave, chipped rice with yogurt and condensed milk, was could be done at any scale. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come, Nityananda Prabhu got up to receive him, and they were so happy and enjoying that how so many devotees all around are eating chipped rice.
So that is the power and potency of Nityananda Prabhu that's sitting in Bengal. Mahaprabhu was in Puri, and by the power of his meditation, he invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his invitation was so heartfelt that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not receive, and he came there. He could not resist, and he came there. He appeared there, and he has appeared in a form which only Nityananda Prabhu can see. Others cannot see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there.
Sakala kundira hona chirareke Mahaprabhu mukhe dena kari parihasa. From each and every pot, Lord Nityananda Prabhu took one morsel of chipped rice and pushed it into the mouth of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu as a joke. So imagine, we are there in Paniyati festival, we have 2 pots, we are eating from curd pot, from condensed milk pot, and suddenly Nityananda Prabhu is coming and taking one morsel of chipped rice and feeding it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, pushing it into his mouth. Asi Mahaprabhu ara ek gras lana Tandra mukhe diya khao ya hasiya siya.
Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, also smiling, took a morsel of food, pushed it into the mouth of Nityananda, and laughed as he made Lord Nityananda eat. So Mahaprabhu was feeding Nitai, and Nitai was feeding Mahaprabhu. And all this Leela was going on, and they were not feeding from their pots, they were feeding from the pots of all the devotees. So everyone was getting Mahaprasad.
So this was such actually pastime of Braj, where Krishna will eat from everyone's pot and everyone. He matani bole sakala mandale dandana rang
Dekhe Vaishnava Sakale. In this way, Lord Nityananda was walking through all the groups of eaters. There were countless eaters, and he was walking through all their groups, and all the Vaishnavas standing there were seeing the fun.
Ki kariya bedai ha ke hanahi jane Mahaprabhu darshan paye kone bhagyavane. no one could understand what Nityananda Prabhu was doing as he walked about, because they could actually only see Nityananda Prabhu. Some very few who, however, who were very fortunate could see that Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu was also present. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not visible to everyone, but to some few fortunate souls.
Tabehasi
Nityananda vasila asane chari kundi aroya rakila dahine.
Then Nityananda Prabhu smiled and sat down. On his right side, he kept 4 pots of chipped rice that had not been made from boiled paddy.
Asandiya Mahaprabhu Tavasaila Dui Baita Bechida Kaite Lagira. Lord Nityananda offered Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu a place and had him sit. Then together the two brothers began eating chipped rice. Dekhi Nityananda Prabhu Anandita Haila Kata Kata Bhava Vesha Prakasha Karila.
Seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating with him, Lord Nityananda Prabhu became very happy and exhibited varieties of ecstatic love.
Agyadila Hari Bali Karaha Bhujana Hari Hari Dhvani Uthi Bharila Bhuvana. Lord Nityananda Prabhu ordered, all of you eat, chanting the holy names of Hari. So all of you eat, at the same time chant the names of Hari. Immediately the holy names Hari Hari resounded, filling the entire universe.
Hari
Hari Bali Vaishnava Karaye Bhojana Pulina Bhojana Samara Haila Smarana.
When all the Vaishnavas were chanting the holy names Hari Hari and eating, they remembered how Krishna Balram ate with their companions, the cowherd boys, on the bank of the Yamuna.
Nityananda Mahaprabhu Kripalu Dara Raghunathe Bhagya Eta Kailangikara. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu are extremely merciful and liberal, Kripalu and Udar. It was Raghunath Das's good fortune that they accepted all these dealings. Nityananda Prabha Kripa Jani Kono Jana Mahaprabhu Ani Karai Purina Bhojana.
Who can understand the influence and mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu? He is so powerful that he induced Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come eat chipped rice on the bank of the Ganges.
Shri Rāmānanda Gopa Prema Vishta Haila Ganga Tire Yamun Pulina Jnana Kaila. All the confidential devotees who were cowherd boys headed by Shri Ramadas were absorbed in ecstatic love. They thought the bank of the Ganges to be the bank of Yamuna. Mahotsava Shuni Pasari Nana Grama Haita Chiradadi Sandesh Kala Anila Vichite.
When the shopkeepers of many other villages heard about the festival, they arrived there to sell chipped rice, yogurt, sweet meats, and banana. People from other villages also came because they heard by this time the news had spread. So they also came to sell their items.
Yata Dravyalana Aise Sabamukari
Laya.
Tara Dravya Mulya Diya Tara Khayaya. As they came, bringing all kinds of food, Raghunath Das purchased it all. He gave them the price for their goods and later fed them with the very same food. So he not only purchased the raw materials from them, he prepared the chipped rice and fed it back to those people as well. Kautuka dekhite aila yata yata jana sei chiradadi kala karila bhakshana.
Anyone who came to see how these funny things were going on was also fed chipped rice, yogurt, and bananas. So that was the hospitality of Raghunath Das, that anyone and everyone
Any
who
onlooker
come
also.
there, even the onlookers, those who were making fun of it, those who were laughing at that, those who had come to make business there, everyone was fed sumptuously.
Bhojan kari nityananda achaman kaina chari kundirava shesha Raghunatha-līlā. After Lord Nityananda Prabhu finished eating, he washed his hands and mouth and gave Raghunath Das the food remaining in the 4 pots.
Aratina
Kundikaya avashesha chela grase grase kari vipra sabha bhakti-līlā.
There was food remaining in the 3 other big pots of Lord Nityanand, and a brāhmaṇa distributed to all the devotees, giving a morsel to each.
Pushpamala vipra ani prabhu-līlā Chandana aniya prabhu sarvange-lepīdā. Then a brahmana brought a flower garland and placed the garland on Nityananda Prabhu's neck and smeared sandalwood pulp all over his body. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So wishing you all a Gaura Nitai filled night where we get amazing dreams of Panihati Gram, where this festival is going on. When we read, when we hear about the pastimes of the Lord, it is not different. Like the Leela unfolds, it manifests. So let's hope and pray that we have a very nice weekend, a very nice night, and looking forward to meet all of you tomorrow morning for our sacred morning japa session. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.